deserves it. He never acts like he's above anyone else. Just, I think someone who really, everyone who plays X-Wing could, so to speak, really be proud to say he's the champion and that he's not just some pompous douche. He's just a really nice guy. So that's my thoughts on that. That was my little eulogy there for you, Mr. Heaver. Now look at that, I got someone watching. Too kind of you, sir. Well, now when you get these opposite corner starts, what happens invariably when you have this diagonal asteroid field, which happens quite frequently, is both players want to take it as slow as possible, and because whichever one hits the asteroid field first is going to have to break up their formation, which is going to make, you know, their firing gallery not as ideal. Or if they're running like, you know, B-Wings or TIE Fighters, they might have to spend an action to barrel roll to avoid an asteroid or something, so to speak. So if they go right forward, that's what you usually see, is they take it slow. But then sometimes you get this, where it's just one guy goes up their side, other guy goes up their side. And so now at this point, there's basically one of two things that's going to happen, is that they're all just... I don't think Pharrell is going to K-turn. I think Paul is going to keep coming up kind of slow with Pharrell and see if he can just take pot shots at these guys out at range 3. Gonna be interesting to see there if he decides to just turn in with the B-Wings, though. Because I don't think Paul really minds a joust here. Because he's got that R3A2, and his B-Wings, too, got a whole lot of beef. They can take some hits. I think Heaver wants to get Pharrell on the tail of these guys, and then he's fine to just set it for a joust here and maybe sneak in. And yeah, looks like he is going to turn in. And so now if you're Mu0n, I would assume he's turning in as well. We don't know that for sure, but I think Mu0n probably anticipated that too with the way that Paul held these three back. I think I'd be very surprised if Mu0n doesn't turn in well. And you can see he's really protecting that Dutch. I think what he's thinking is Pharrell flanks, he's just going to try to hang Dutch back and just pray that he can get lucky and get an ion hit on Jake. It's not going to be easy at all. But, and I think if you're Paul, sort of like he felt with his Fat Han list at Worlds, is I really don't care if these guys die. They got to kill some stuff first before they go down, but all I want is Pharrell in the end game, because I don't think Paul feels like any of these guys can really handle Jake. I mean, maybe a couple of Talas would have a chance if there's maybe 3 headhunters left. Even that, though, I think some guys would take a full health Pharrell against 3 bandits, maybe. But Dutch, I feel like with those auto thrusters, it's going to be very, very hard for him to get some consistent hits on Pharrell. I mean, he's going to be moving last. Basically gets 3 actions. And he goes for a 5 forward. So he's going to probably boost left here. Now the question, he's going to focus. Well, he takes the free focus from the free boost from the focus. Now the question is, do you push the limit to roll one way or the other to try to get what you might feel is a little bit more optimal positioning? Or do you just keep it and have the full range of your dial next turn? I think it feels like Jake's pretty safe here. Really, only this bandit has a chance to get a shot next turn by doing a hard 2 left. He's going to try for a lock. I don't think he's going to get it, no. Yeah, I think he's probably just going to keep it. I think I'd keep it and then put in a 3 bank next turn and just start working on Dutch. Looks like he's going to keep it. And now, I think I like this a little bit more if I'm Mu0n. I mean, if I'm Paul, because you're basically setting yourself up for a big engagement here. But these Talas are staring. This asteroid might be a bit of a problem for Mu0n. I think it's going to get in the way of this guy potentially. And also, this bandit is a little bit in the lead. Not by too much. Won't be too much of a problem. But I don't know what that is. I'll stress and dodge or something else. I don't think he was because he focused then boosted, I believe, which is perfectly legal. But I think he feels like he's probably just gonna like 4-forward it anyway, or 2 left bank. So probably feels like it's not a big deal. But anyway, and I think what Paul wants, I think he's probably just gonna 1-4 these guys, to be honest. Because I think he feels like at this point Mu0n is committed to just hard turning these Talas and going at it. And I think Paul wants him slow going here to increase the survivability of these guys and just give Jake tons of time to just take cheap little pot shots at Dutch and just slowly wear down his shields. So I think you're going to see either a 2 bank or a 4-5 forward there. And then, because I mean Jake out at range 3 is invincible to Dutch. There's nothing Dutch can do there. So I think that's ideally what Paul's going to look for. He's going to try to get a range 3 focused, target locked shot ideally. And then, really ideally, I think he wouldn't even mind not shooting here. Because basically it's just going to be Jake shooting once, and then that's it. And then next turn it'll be some range 2 or 3 shooting. And we'll start seeing some ships die, but not before Jake gets in 1 or maybe even 2 free shots. A really gutsy move right here. I can't imagine he would do it, but if you're Mu0n, just K-turn all 4 of these guys right now and go hard at Jake. Because I don't think Jake's going to 2-turn, and if you 2 banks or 4 forwards, now you've really got him stuck in a corner. And you could even hard bank, or I guess you could either K-turn or hard turn Dutch and just go all out for Mu0n. And that might put you in a bad position later on, because after they K-turn, they got to come back, probably take them 2 more turns after K-turn to finish off Jake, and now these guys are on your tail and you're stuck in a bit of a corner. But like I said, these guys got a long ways to go, and them B-wings sure are slow. And Jake is the prize pig. He's the one you got to get down. Like I said, Jake against 2 Talas, I think anyone would take that. And yeah, even against maybe even 3, like 3 wounded bandits, I think most guys would even take a full health Jake with what he's got here. So if it comes down to 2 or 3 ships against Jake, yeah, I think I would take Paul. So that's something one has to consider. I don't think he's going to do that. I think that's just a really risky move, but it would certainly be interesting. He's really thinking. I'm wondering if he's thinking about it. He's taking his time. He's either thinking about it, or he's trying to figure out how he's going to navigate past this asteroid with these 3 right here in a cluster like that. This guy would probably be safe from it if he had 2 turns. But this is a bit of a problem. I think maybe you might see 3 turn, 3 turn, and then 2 turn just to bring up the rear. Just so we don't get any bumps. But I think this positioning, it really favors Paul, because these guys are in a bit of a tighter cluster here than these guys as well. And I would just be really surprised if Paul didn't do anything other than a 1 forward. Yeah. And he's in a bit of a tough spot and he knows it. Oh no! I was dead wrong. Paul's gonna go right for it. Gonna 3 forward. Look at that. That's incredible. That's years of running Biggs walks the dogs, folks. Running 2 B-wings with a rookie and just knowing exactly how to just get them. That is just amazing to me. Look at this. A 3 right turn. Oh, he is going to K-turn. Wow. That is a gutsy move right there. And I wonder if Paul suspected that might be coming. And that's why he decided to go 3 forward to get in there to help Jake. I think he kind of suspected that was a possibility. And he didn't want to leave Jake out to dry. That's why he decided to do that. So now the question is, if you're Jake, do you boost to take a shot at Dutch? Because you know Jake's probably going to be safe, because at range 3 it's going to be 2 on 4. And he can focus, boost, and then lock or evade. But then Jake's going to be in it next turn. I think that was a brilliant move by Mu0n, because now Jake is really in trouble. There's basically no way he can get out of this next turn. And that's the bandit dial. He's going to roll back, basically saying, I just want to buy... Oh, and then he's going to boost. So that's purely a positional play. I'm a little surprised. I think I would have just boosted and then just taken a lock on Dutch and just tried to get a hit or two. Because now Jake is really in some shit. Jake could die this next turn. Maybe he was thinking that now he can 2 left turn, barrel roll, then boost and run away. And actually, as I look at that, I think that's what we might see. Because then, that's going to put Mu0n in a very difficult position. And then do I chase him with this asteroid blocking, and these guys hit me hard on the flank, or do I turn in and engage these 3 heavy hitters coming at me? But if you're Dutch, because Dutch now can boost, target lock, 2 forward, target lock, then boost. And if Pharrell runs away, Dutch can stay right on him. And it's basically going to come down to a point where Jake's just going to have to, oh, look at this. Paul forgot to hide his dials. Oh dear. Is he going to realize it? He doesn't yet. Oh dear. Better hope Mu0n doesn't see. Hide your dials. Oh, he's not going to notice unless someone messages him. I think someone probably will. No. Oh Lord. Well, that doesn't really give away a whole lot, really, and I think Mu0n pretty much expected that. These guys are rushing in there to try to help out, give some supporting fire to Jake, and Jake's just going to try to run the hell away. But at least it makes for sure now that Mu0n knows exactly what he's doing, I guess, unless... I mean, maybe he'll tell him and be like, hey, do you want to change that? But I think I would take this one Tala, send it out as a wingman with Dutch to go hard at Jake, and then put my 4 bandits up against them dudes to maybe try to kill the X-Wing and maybe put some damage into a B-Wing before they go down and at least occupy them while Dutch and